So we're taking a stab at some QQQ calls here, guys. We're up 23%, $80 on these Qs, man. I also do this to show anybody, guys, that it's possible. Look, so this is how I made a quick $80 on QQQ calls. So if I'm patient enough for this to hit my stop loss and bounce, then I need to be patient enough for it to not only break above. I want to maximize a single contract. I'm talking about turning a $200 contract into $400. My fellow traders, an hour into the market being open, January 28th, Tuesday, and currently just watching the market right now as we speak. Now, I do plan on entering some SPY calls here pretty soon, and the reason being is because we're above pre-market high. We got this nice trend break here, strong volume kicking in for buyers. Now, the 5 minutes does look pretty good for a pullback here, and same thing with Amazon, guys. So a couple stocks that we had our trade ideas on. Amazon took off without us. You can see right here in the pre-market, it literally created a bullish rectangle, held pre-market real nicely, never broke below most recent all-time highs, which is 233.28, and just completely rocketed, guys. Literally no pullbacks to this level at all after it gets a break, and it just continued on to the upside. And overall, what I'm trying to find, guys, is just pullbacks. So I'm just eyeing SPY calls here soon, so that's probably what I'm gonna take. So market looks very strong here on a 15-minute time frame. 5 minutes getting some good buyer volume, and I'm just gonna watch the level 2 and time and sales to make sure buyers are actually stepping in. So I accidentally forgot to hit play when I entered SPY, but I did enter SPY here for 345 a piece. I'm just gonna enter one for now, and I'll enter another one later. Now, one thing is on the 30-minute time frame, we are trying to get above this level, and we actually did get a candle break above. So I'm currently in these SPY calls down $30, about 10% here, which is my stop loss. So we're already at my stop loss, guys. We need to bounce here, of course. We need to hold this area here and break back above pre-market high. Now, what I would love is for this EMA to come all the way to my stop loss, so that EMA is at the stop loss, meaning that if it does break back below the EMA, then of course that's even more bearish. I would love for the EMA just to be an area where we can bounce at. So almost there already, kind of bouncing here a little bit back up. These past 7 trades that I've literally taken have been L's. The only win that I have taken was on the 22nd, I believe, on a Tuesday, guys. I've only made one good trade on Tuesday, $101 every single day. After that has been straight losing streak of every single trade has been just straight L's. As you guys saw in my last video of my title, even though I've been taking straight L's back to back to back, the losses have not been as big. Here comes the market now as we're speaking, talking about trying to manage through pullbacks. So look at this, check this out. So if I'm patient enough for this to hit my stop loss and bounce, then I need to be patient enough for it to not only break above this entry level and get into the in the money contracts, but even go higher. Because if I was willing to sell here for a 10% cut, I cannot just sell here for a 10% gain. I need a 20% gain. I need a 30%. I need a 40% gain. Let's fucking go 10% here, guys. 10% here. But of course, we need more. This is 10%, but we need more. So as a strong pullback back to break even. I will look to enter another one if market starts to show some strength here one more time. So a nice hold on that pullback. We're doing our absolute best to hold, guys. Not only am I teaching myself to learn to hold, but also my members in my Discord, because there's people also in this trade too as well with me, and we're doing our absolute best to hold, guys. I keep trying to tell them, let's hold, don't worry. We're gonna do our absolute best to try to hold. It's totally fine. Let's keep watching the market, and we're gonna do our best to hold. So whole market's getting some bullish momentum here, so let's get it. Look how the 9 EMA is falling with the market. I'm gonna do my absolute best to try to let the market follow the 9 EMA. Now we might come down to pull back here and retest the general area for another time again, just based off how the market's kind of moving. Now, market is gaining some bullish momentum, especially if Qs can break above this 50% fib level, then we'll be major bullish. But so far, guys, we're just waiting for this market momentum to continue on to the upside, and we will be straight. So we're currently almost here to that general area where I'm talking about, where we need to bounce off this area. So if we don't bounce here and the candle closes below, then of course we'll just sell for a small loss. We're currently basically at break even, so it will probably be a small percentage L of like $10, $15. But guys, we need that break above. We need to hold. Look at all those sales. I'm not even gonna lie. They coming in. They trying to come in though. All right, guys. So we decided to get out, to be honest, because market does not look too favorable. QQQ is rejecting this Fibonacci retracement level, which is something that we haven't got above. But I only took a $4 loss here on the day. These contracts I got in for $3.45, sold at $3.41. So literally a $4 loss, which is nothing. So guys, we just took a live trade on SPY and showed you guys what it's like. Now, I will be honest, we took 8 trades in it. We took 8 losses back to back to back, guys, since last week. Now, I do need to pull up the calendar to see exactly which day, but just note, last week, Monday was closed because of Martin Luther King Day. So on Tuesday, we came on Tuesday and made a nice $100 and $101 day, right? Then every single day after that until today, which is now the 28th, Literally straight losses, but it's totally fine, guys, because you guys got to understand one thing. Ever since I started switching over to this new method, which if you guys go back and watch my vlogs from weeks ago, you guys will hear me say that I'm starting to shoot for 1 to 3s. Now, the difference is, yes, my win percentage ratio might go down because, for an example, instead of me taking quick scalps or I see a nice 10-15% gain, which is like, let's say, for an example, I go in for $300 to $500, either collect a nice $30 to $50 gain off a quick 10% scalp. That's what I used to do. And I can take a lot of those very easy. I mean, I can even take scalp put here that's about to retest this EMA real easy, probably to the downside. But the thing is I don't trade like that no more because I want to maximize a single contract as much as it can and juice it up as much as it can. Like I'm talking about turning a $200 contract into $400 and then buying like 3 of those, and that's over, you know, $600 a day on the day, instead of buying 2 contracts for $200 and turning them to $220 and selling that for a quick $40 scalp. Like it's fine and everything, but you got to learn how to do it all, and then you got to find which one you like the most. And for me personally, I'm honestly enjoying holding a lot more longer and maximizing because it gives you more bang for your buck on the contract. So now I'm able to turn a $300 contract into an extra $100 and make 25% return, or 33% return, sorry, on a $300 entry, which is $100. So I can do that, but it's very difficult in this kind of market considering FOMC plus the China news that just came out. It's very hard to find a nice 1 to 3. I mean, I saw a 1 to 1, but the issue is this. It also came down and came close to our stop loss, which would have been 10% loss. Then it pumped all the way back up and pushed above and hit a nice 12% gain. But again, we cannot sell there because then that would just be a 1 to 1, meaning that if I take another trade and take a same setup entry, take a 10% loss, I just lose what I just made. Whereas, let's say for an example, that trade did hit 30%. I went in for $350. Had I hit $105 on this trade, if it had hit 30%, that means if I enter another trade and I lose, then I only lose $30 because today, on my first trade, I went in for $350. 30% gain of $350 is $105, correct? Meaning, if I take another trade, which goes in for $300, and I lose 10% of that, which is $35, that means I will lose $35, and I could do that twice and still be up on the day because that's a 1 to 3. And that's the whole point of what I'm trying to tell you guys, is the fact that, understand, every single time you enter a trade, make sure you have a trade plan for how much you're willing to lose, how much you're willing to gain. And in this case, guys, I already knew how much I'm willing to lose. 10% loss. You guys saw it came down to my stop loss and it was a 10%. Had I cut there, I had the opportunity to let the market follow with my 9 EMA and ended up cutting at the 9 EMA for a small loss of about 1%, which is what I like. Whole point is, guys, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to put down. Just know, make sure every single time you enter a trade, have a trade plan, how much you're going to lose, how much you're willing to gain, because that will change the game for you and it changed the game for me. So we're taking a stab at some QQQ calls here. Again, same entry price, 345, same mindset, 10% stop loss with a 30% price target. QQQ in general has better price action as far as bullish momentum compared to SPY. SPY's pullback was pretty horrendous. Now QQQ has a better setup and it's holding its bull flag here formation pretty stronger. So if market decides to go bullish here again, which it does look like it wants it because Apple's breaking above, Nvidia's going crazy, and ES wants it, then these Qs can pay pretty nicely, guys. So QQQ break above this 50% fib and we'll take it along even higher than what it's at now. Guys, we're up 23%, $80 on these Qs, man. These Q contracts are going crazy. Honestly, we might even sell out here just to get out because, guys, let's get on the ask. So, guys, we just sold out on this trade. They're very nice gain, guys. 23% sold out because we don't want any pullbacks to happen. This is such a good trade. We don't want to lose what we just gained. So, guys, $80 on this trade. Now, like I said, every single time we take a trade, the losses have been small for the trades that we've been taking these last 8 trades. So 8 trades before this trade here, I took 8 losses back to back. Every single loss was so small. I mean, I'm talking about $15 loss one day, $20 loss the next day. But here we are, $80 gain, and now we recovered at least a good amount a couple days. And again, if we can capture another trade and collect a good gain, this was a 1 to 2, then we can see some more. Now, we bought these contracts for $345, sold them at $429, and they're currently at $430. So just, you know, they're not too far away from where we exited, and I'm pretty happy with the gain that we made. So we're gonna wrap it up today, about 3 hours into the market. It's currently 9:30 a.m. as we speak, and I'm gonna go over my orders with you guys and show you guys what we took today. Now, the reason why I'm really excited to show you guys this is because we literally just talked about how on the next trade, I'm gonna do the same exact model. I'm gonna try my absolute best to try to hold for 30% price target, which honestly, guys, we could have held these to a 30% price target. I decided to sell just to collect it. Guys, understand this though. I have been taking 8 losses back to back ever since, like I just mentioned last week during Martin Luther King week when the market was closed on Monday. I took 1 win on Tuesday, and every single day after that was straight losses until today. Finally, we're finally positive on the day. Took these contracts from $345 entry to $430 exit. Contracts now went to $460. And also just understand, guys, the reason why I sold is because I took 8 losses back to back. I just need one winning trade. I don't mind taking a 1-2 today. I just took a 1-2. I was looking for a 1-3, and honestly, it's definitely gonna hit a 1-3. So this is how I made a quick $80 on QQQ calls. Now, what I was watching is I decided to enter QQQ over SPY because look at SPY. SPY had a massive pullback here. And I was in calls here. Sold 12%, sold for 1% L at break even. Decided, you know what, let's look at QQQ. QQQ is holding a nice flag here. Push to the upside. So we entered on this candle here, gets a fat breakout. And guys, we took a nice gain on that trade. We entered on this candle here. Long wicks to downside, lost a long wicks to downside holding this EMA. So I was like, you know what, this looks like it's gonna break, guys. Come on. Although early entry, because really I'm supposed to enter on this candle here. Kind of got in a little bit early, but I'm very excited we did because that's a nice breakout to the upside. Good trade. So the only reason why I actually talked to you guys and give you guys a wrap up is because I just want you guys to understand how my mind thinks and what I'm going to look for the next day. So 8 losses back to back. Finally, we took our dub today over $80 at least. Course does not recover every single loss that we have taken, since there has been some days where we took in a $50 loss or $30 loss. So, you know, $50 for $30 loss probably only recovers like 2 days of losses. I've taken a $15 loss, a $20 loss as well. Now, the reason why I talk to you guys and give you guys an outro is because I want you guys to understand that the next day when I come to the market tomorrow, again, I'm going to do the same thing. Enter in for about $300 to $600 entry, 10% stop loss, 30% price target. Now, unfortunately on this one, we didn't sell for the 30%. We sold it at 23. I wasn't sure if we were going to get any higher, but I decided to collect out since it's a good game. Just call it good, whatever. Let's head out of here. I also do this to show anybody, guys, that it's possible. Look, if your issue is just selling too early, tell yourself on the next trade, you're gonna hold a lot longer. And that's what I did. Do you guys not remember? If you guys go watch my vlogs from a couple weeks ago, I think there's a title that says we finally did it, or I finally held, or 40%, or there's something in the title that says about 40%, 50% hold, or I held, or watch me hold. Just understand, not that long ago, last year, a couple months ago, I had a struggle with selling too early, because what would happen is I would get a nice entry right away. It would go in my favor and I'll sell for 10, 15% gains. But the issue is this: if I sell for 10% loss, it's just a battle in your portfolio. We're consistently going up, down, break even, lower weeks, higher weeks. It's just very inconsistent. So yes, my win percent ratio might be lower now since I'm shooting for very specific price targets and stop losses. So I'm, like I said, 8 losses back to back. But finally, if we do take a win, it's going to recover everything that we lost. A 1-3 ratio is what I'm shooting for. 30% price target, 10% stop loss. Of course, over time, I'm going to tweak it again and I'll turn to 1-5s, 1-10s. Of course, over time, guys. Just know, I also had an issue with selling too early. Honestly, when I would enter a trade, I would sell. The moment I see a small pullback, I'm talking about I'd be up 15%, pulls back, and I would sell for a 3% gain. And it'd be so mad when it goes back up. I don't do that no more because I understand pullbacks are potential re-entries or add more areas, or it's just pulling back because it just needs to do a healthy price target or a reaction to that support before bounce on up. I actually do like pullbacks, to be honest. I don't mind seeing pullbacks. I want to see a healthy pullback. That just means it's going to continue on in my favor if it pulls back and rejects. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. I'm just going to wrap up this video. Might go live, who knows? But yeah, guys, have a good rest of your guys' day. Catch you guys on the next one, and let's kill it.